Yo, guess what? Hey, beautiful people, and y'all forgive me, I'm still sick, but I'm a little excited though, because I found out that I'm not as sick as I thought I was. I thought I had pneumonia or something. I couldn't talk, kept coughing, but anyway, as soon as I say it, look, I'm setting up the first podcast for this week. A friend of mine's coming on there. We are going to talk, man. We're going to talk. And this is what our topic on, the new podcast is going to be. Man, we are going to be on here for 2 hours and we're going to talk about the line, you know what I mean? And I ain't talking about, no other line. I ain't talking about D line. I ain't talking about Remy line. I'm talking about lines in general. And the sophistication of how to start a line and what it takes. And the reason we're talking about this is because in the American bully world, it's this weird ass thing to where people think that you can make a bloodline, by taking, 2 dogs from other people's blood and this and that and the other. And often people have often wondered why myself and even Oscar Gomez have said we don't have bloodlines. And it's because of a very, very well thought out process where we totally understand what it takes to have a line, and we understand that we're not quite there yet. It's a lot of work. It's literally decades of work. You can't, it's this thing, oh, I got 5 generations. Well, let me tell you something. If you have, and I think I've talked about this, and I'm not going to go long on this because this is a topic for the podcast coming up, but if you have, say for instance, 3 generations, of course you don't have a line. So some people said 7 generations. But if you have 7 generations of the same 2 bloods, and on top of it, you haven't mastered anything different as far as consistency goes, your blood is not consistent, or whatever the case may be, you don't have a line. Having a line takes you mastering the look. It takes you bringing in several different bloods, because if I just grab, say for instance, and this is an example, if I just grab some Remy blood, right, and then I just said, you know what, I'm gonna grab me some stuff from Marco Suarez and have some Paco blood, and I put those dogs together and I bounced them around for 7 generations. I didn't make a line. That is not a line, I have good blood. You can say, I have, whatever big time kennels blood in my yard, and I've done some nice things with it, but I didn't establish a line in that amount of time, the bloodline, and we will go more and more in depth on it on the podcast, but it's a lot more sophisticated, and it needs to be, and it needs to be sustained on its own. Now, in the American bully community, one of the reasons why we can't talk about bloodlines, and I think, it's a couple kennels who's pushing further towards that. I think we are. I know Oscar is. Pratt's is doing it in a slow, methodical way, but eventually I think that you could probably call what he's doing a bloodline eventually. But it takes time, and it takes a lot of generations, and it takes that locking in of the look, the traits, and something else that has been greatly overlooked. Most actual bloodlines knock out purpose, they knock out health, they knock out longevity. It's a lot of check marks that when you start talking about I have a line, that you have to go through the whole thing. It's not just how long you breed dogs. There's plenty of people who've bred dogs, and and y'all want to say they have a line because, oh yeah, they've been breeding dogs and a lot of the stuff is in their own, off of their own yard for 15 years, so he got to have a bloodline. No, he can say it's his blood because it is his blood if he's breeding it, but at the same time, does he have a line? It's things that qualify you to have a line, and we're going to talk about that. Not only are we going to talk about that, but we're going to talk about some methods that's probably, as things pop up that might cause your line, or whatever you want to call it, your process of building a line, to not, to sway or differentiate. We're going to talk about that some, and it's going to be an interesting thing, but I'm going to start pulling my friends out the woodworks. We're going to do this podcast thing. We're going to have a good time. We're going to talk our shit. And, who knows? We might have a sponsor, for the podcast real soon. So we'll see how that goes. But hey, man, it's always a pleasure. God bless all of y'all, man. Like I say, I'm feeling upbeat. But before I go off of here, I escaped the bullet. But God bless all of those who are dealing with COVID right now. Hard prayers for my goddaughter out in California right now. She had to be put on the ventilator and is unconscious, and it's worrisome, but everything's in God's hands, and I'm gonna go lay my ass down too. Man, God bless all y'all that's going through this thing. Y'all take it serious and protect yourselves, man. Ain't nothing wrong with protecting yourself from anything in the world. So until next time, y'all, God bless. Peace.